Do you have a question for me?
When will Willet Heiser be back?
We already
and
did.
Can I be on an episode?
Yes.
Yes. I'd even
cool.
like that, a video on my channel possibly too. We could film 2 of them, bro.
I love it.
I want a Willet Heiser featuring Bobby on my channel. That'd be legendary.
Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and I am back from Disc South. That's right, I was at the Disc Golf Expo in Allen, Texas. Great job by Benny. Met some amazing people, got to talk with some people I already know and connect, network, got to see people that I've watched on video, content creators. I got to see people that I've only talked to on the phone. It was all around a great experience. If you were following us, you know that we had the Contender prototype as a special drop. We sold a lot of those, a lot of positive feedback from that. If you happen to have been one of the people that grabbed one of those, tag us in any videos or posts that you make, because we want to know what you guys think of it. So we're very excited about that release for sure. But something I did as I was walking around, as I was talking to people and having conversations, and I thought, why am I not recording these conversations? There's some great conversations where I get to learn a little bit more about people I'm talking to, and I'm thinking, that's something I love bringing the listeners to our listeners, you guys. I love bringing that to you guys so you can learn a little bit more about the people that you watch, the people that you hear about from store owners and other vendors and things like that. So what I did was I grabbed my DJI mics and I clipped them on me and I clipped them on the person I was talking to, and we had a conversation. So you're going to hear some background noise as far as the crowd. I went ahead and put this through a Adobe Audio Enhancer, and it helped a lot. But it's still, some of us is going to sound kind of a little bit robotic, but that was so that you can hear the speech a little more clear against all the background noise. But I think they turned out pretty good, and hopefully you can enjoy. You're going to hear from people like Jonathan from Disc AI. You're going to hear from Jonathan from Jomez, Scott from the PDGA, Josh from Overthrow, Dustin from Armory Disc Golf, Broderic, you know, from his YouTube channel, Broderic. And then it was interesting. I saw Gannon. He walked by. He asked what I was doing. I said, I'm recording for Disc Golf Answer Man. And he said, yo, when you going to get me on Answer Man? So I was like, let's go, Gannon. So you'll hear a conversation I have with Gannon as well. And then real quick to learn about UDisc. Steve Hill from UDisc, he gives us some fantastic data and analytics from UDisc. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Some of these are 6 minutes long. Some of them are about 10 to 12 minutes long. I'll have a little bit of music in between, and then we'll go right into the conversation I have. So hopefully you guys enjoy some of the conversations I had at Disc South. So,
right.
Yes. So, Jonathan, how are things going?
Going great. I love it here. This is
Have
amazing.
you been to a Disc Golf Expo before?
No, this is it. This is
Really?
the first one. They said they wanted me to come to this, and I seen Disc East, and I knew they did this last year, and they wanted me to come here. I was like, well, it's Texas. I'd love to come.
So, what's your impression so far?
This is amazing. I love seeing all the people together in one thing. So I was jealous when I saw like the one Disc East they just had, and I didn't get to be there, and now we're here, and of course it's Texas, so I feel like this is where, you know, I belong at, the one in Texas.
You've been around disc golf a lot, all right?
Yeah.
A long time.
2012, you know, the start. I was on your podcast shortly after that video blew up. So yeah, we've been around a long time.
So how important is something like this? Because to me, it's like a fly mart, like what we remember, right? Just
Yeah.
a big fly mart.
Yeah.
How important is something like this, do you think, for disc golf?
I think it's a really good way. So there's obviously the element of like networking, meeting people from different areas of the professional side that kind of need to be linked up. I've seen guys selling T-pads, talking to guys from UDisc who need more, you know, who take care of the courses and keep track of all that. These people can network and keep all that, you know, like, here's my card. Hey, okay, now I know you exist, and now I know how we can figure out how to work together. And then, of course, when it comes from like a fandom aspect, having the pros here, having people that they recognize that they see on YouTube and things like that, and then come in here and be able to be face-to-face with them. Disc golf is still in that spot where you can have FaceTime with the #1 player in the world. In other sports, you can't do that. We still have that. It's massive, but we're still accessible enough to be able to do that.
Yep,
you know, you might have to wait an hour in line, but you're still going to have a chance where you don't have that chance with other sports, and disc golf still has that, and I love that we're hanging on to that element of accessibility, you know,
Yes.
that grassroots feel. And this is a perfect place for it. It's you know, you just put it on your calendar and come to this event and know that you can spend a day or two here and buy all kinds of really cool products, a lot of cool discs, meet some of your favorite, you know, pros and personalities. I mean, we've got like people that run podcasts, you know, and stuff that people want to have that connection with, that FaceTime with. And this is what we're here for, and it's very casual.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that human connection that you
Absolutely.
can get here. So you've had a very big evolution as far as disc golf media. You know, starting out, happened to be there filming Worlds, right? And then went on to, I remember seeing you in a huge RV with 12 guys in one RV.
Yeah.
And now you're a part of Disc Golf Pro Tour and other. What are your thoughts on disc golf media? What are you enjoying watching? What do you see it growing into even more?
Yeah, so the thing about media is, as you know, like things progress really quickly with the quality of the video cameras and the audio equipment and the computers themselves. So while that is like really hard to keep up with, the good thing is that it becomes more affordable, more accessible the further along we get. I mean, there was a day where we thought a terabyte was a lot of space, and it would have cost you $1,000 to buy a hard drive that big. And now, you know, that's nothing. But I remember like buying those types of things, and now, like I said, we can definitely get more. We can keep up with the times more, get us closer to say like a Netflix or an ESPN with stuff that you can buy at Best Buy now, as opposed to having to go to B&H or know somebody like or spend a bunch of money. Well, at the same time, these pros are getting younger and more talented, and the sport is in very good shape from the professional side. And so as long as we continue to do our job and level up and stay on our toes, we know that the pros are taking care of their side of things. Where, you know, like we're not really that concerned about the health of the sport from that, because there's always going to be more people coming up. They're always going to want to get better, throw further, become more accurate. And then that in turn helps with the fans and what we do on the media side of things, where more people are watching, more people want to come see it in person. I tell everybody that comes and says, I love watching your videos. I love watching the pros. And I say, whatever you can do, if you have the opportunity, whatever you can do if you have the opportunity, be sure to try to go see it in person, because there's really nothing quite like it. So that kind of full circle back to the in-person thing from this is there's something about that community and that human interaction, like you said, and it's our job as you know, media professionals, is to broadcast that and let people know what's happening, so it comes across their feed randomly on YouTube Shorts or TikTok, and then they end up here at the Disc Expo next time, and then the next time it's, you know, at the disc golf tournament, right there front and center. And the energy is unmatched. And
what can we expect from Jomez Pro in the next year, 2, 3 years?
Yeah, so we're continuing to try to elevate our game with the level of quality, but overall is I think adding the Jomez Pro Series is something that we're really excited about, and we'll start in Waco. We'll go to Cascade, and of course we'll go back to our roots back in Emporia, and we're really excited about that, because that's, I think, maybe not many people know, but you know, you gave me a call in 2014 to go, and that was the first time we ever left the state of Texas, where we're from, to go film disc golf, and you had us out there, and I'll never forget, you know, my roots in Emporia and how much I love it there. And you talk about the fly mart type aspect, there's nothing quite like, you know, what you guys started in Emporia with the fly mart, and that's what I love so much about going back there, is just remembering those days and stepping into that town that takes disc golf so seriously and supports it so wholeheartedly. I was happy to have that a part of the Jomez series. So all that to say, you know, of course, the Elite Series level competitions and stuff, that being able to have the opportunity to do a few Jomez Series events kind of go back to some of our roots of exclusive coverage, right? Stuff that we haven't done since 2019. We haven't had exclusive Jomez coverage since 2019. So that's 7 years ago, and we're going to get back to being able to do that. And it's not necessarily that you know, something we wanted to do, but now it's like, well, now that we have a few little gaps, let's give it a shot, right? We're hand in hand with the live, and we love it because people can, you know, like consume whatever they want. But now let's see what it's like to have a tournament where we're the only ones covering it, and that's the only way to watch it, because that's how it was for a while, right? Like there was times where you would go to a tournament and film a disc golf video, and Terry and us, and we'd all just be different places.
Right.
There wasn't really any overlap.
Right.
So we're going to kind of do that again and just kind of see what that's like, and just kind of give that, like I said, that kind of grassroots vibe, while still obviously having the fields are still going to be really stacked at these events and being able to, provide that coverage. So we're really excited about that.
I love it. I think it's an excellent plan. I look forward to watching it for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
All right,
that.
thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby.
Jonathan,
And you're with?
I'm with Disc AI.
So I saw you at Disc East, and that's where I met you.
Yeah.
And then now we're at Disc South. Tell me a little bit about what you have going on with Disc AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we have is a automated form analysis application. So what you do is put a video of your form into the application, and what it does is compare your form to where the pros are at, and then gives you automated feedback based off of where you can get closer to the pros.
And had you seen this before in another industry, or is this like an idea you just, how did that come about?
I have. So I had previously seen it for golf as well as baseball. I previously worked for a company that did something very similar for combining tech disc and Disc AI, but for baseball. So they put sensors onto bats as well as into baseballs and softballs, and then you'd be able to film yourself and then see the various pitches that you're throwing, and then learn more about tunneling or your swing path and get more of that information.
Gotcha. Okay, that vacuum's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, let's give it a second. Oh, is she going to vacuum the whole floor? Yes, she is. Or is she just going to do the carpet? Maybe we can go.
Yeah, we try one of the rooms or something.
Let's walk over there.
Yeah. Here, want to carry this?
Oh, yeah, if you got it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
People talking in the background will be much better than that vacuum.
Oh, for sure.
Constantly humming.
Did you drive down here?
Yeah, it's only about a 3-hour, 40-minute from my...
Oh.
I'm based out of Broken Arrow.
Oh,
That's where I
really?
live, so it's not too
okay.
far.
Got it. How often do you head up to Emporia?
Just about every week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All
How long
right.
is that drive?
That's about 3.5 hours, so it's just like my drive to work. Okay. Appreciate you coming over. Whoa, hey, that's
Oh,
comfy.
thank you, yeah.
Okay, so walk me through if I wanted to use the app. So literally what do I do? Like, take me step by step real quick.
So either get a tripod or get a friend to film you. There are instructions in the application as well to give an example video of what we're trying to look for. For example, for looking at your throw from the side, you want to get it in landscape and then just do a slow-mo. So whatever your default slow-mo is on your phone, that's how I developed the application. So from your camera application, you bring it then into Disc AI, upload it, and then magic.
What's been kind of the feedback from people that have been using the app?
I've started to get some good long-term feedback.
Yeah.
So I had a user, Chris, shout out Chris, who has been using it now for about 2 years. He was throwing 250 and recently got up to 400 feet. Off
Whoa.
his throws. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
Just using the application and filming himself and working on the feedback, and that's been really exciting.
So I know you explained a little bit, but kind of paint the picture a little bit for me. So I show my throw, or it films my throw.
We got to do this for you. We just got to.
I know, we just got to film my throw, and then I look at the pros throwing, and it gives me information based off my throw and the pros throw.
So it gives you. I'm pulling it up right here.
Yeah.
So what it'll do is it'll work out your footwork, and then based off of the various frames that you have, we try to measure stuff like where your hips and shoulders are for each of these frames, and then check stuff like your brace.
Okay, so for the people listening, so there's like a menu, and it has
Here,
power pocket angle, power pocket height,
Yeah,
brace angle. Wow, so it really has.
it's a lot of stuff. And so each of these various frames, we're searching for different stuff. Like for the X step, we're looking for your posture. For the longest extension, we're searching, we're also searching for the posture, but we're trying to find out where's your off arm, how far you rotated back with your shoulders. And for each of those, it gets a score. And so the score is based off of where the deviations of where the pros are at. So you can see whether or not you fall within the pro range. And based off that, I kind of made an algorithm working with different coaches about, what things are more important. For example, right now we're looking at the longest extension, how much the shoulders are rotated.
Okay.
So basically, the more that you rotate your shoulders, the more powerful the throw is going to be. So that's one thing that it measures. So we're looking at a user here who's not as rotated, so he has a little bit of a lower score for shoulder rotation. And so if you can learn about what exactly we're trying to measure, and then there's a YouTube video with a drill so that you can work on that specific thing. So you can either do a deeper dive about looking into the various things about where your arm path is, your brace, your coil, and then for your arm path, for example, we'll search for stuff like, hey, what's your release path? So we can kind of tell whether or not you're throwing nose up, or we can kind of guess that you're throwing nose up if you're trying to release it down, checking to see if you're leading with your elbow properly, and you can kind of tap in and see how you can improve those various scores.
Now, is it set up in such a way that, like, if I do my initial throw, then it analyzes it and gives me the results?
Yeah.
Can I come back in, say, 3 or 4 months, and I'm assuming it'll analyze it again, and I can, like, see my improvements or not improvements?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
So that's kind of the way that I do my coaching sessions. Is I'll run one of these to start while throwing a tech disc, because the tech disc, it works really well in tandem because it will give you those initial values. Let's say, for example, I'm throwing 50 miles an hour and I put my form into the application and it says, hey, I could work on my shoulder rotation. And now I try to work on it. I see my tech disc numbers improve, and then I put myself back into the application at the end of the session to see if my shoulder rotation now gives me a higher score. And theoretically then kind of does that double confirmation of like, okay, great, I'm now throwing faster. I was throwing 50, now I'm throwing 52, and I can see my shoulder rotation is better now as well.
Wow. So do you have any data as far as how many times people have used the app?
Yeah, I think we've done close to 7,000 throws now.
Okay.
That have been analyzed.
What are some common things that you're finding people have problems with or need help on?
It's very common to see nose angle issues.
Okay.
I think that's, we're going here watching people throw a tech disc. It's like a very common thing to like very nose up. And then shoulder rotation's big, at least at the expo, because we're on a little bit of some slidey floor. Sometimes the brace is a little bit off. People are not into get into a solid brace. And they fall over their brace. That's a very common one. There are a couple of like quick fixes as well. I think for the forehand, I found there's not a lot of people really lead with their elbow and like bring their elbow back properly. But different things for different folks.
Yeah, very cool. And right now, this is available on iPhone.
Yes.
and earlier you mentioned you're trying to get it over the Android, but having some challenges.
Yes. So my background is in iOS development. I've been doing iOS development for over a decade now, and I'm learning Android. And I found out today that the device that I was using to test, it works on my device and does not work on Samsung devices. At least the stick figure creation that happens. But hopefully by the time other people hear this, I'll have a new version out and it'll work and everything will be good. It will initially release with just everyone wants backhand distance. So that's like kind of the main focus is like righty backhands. But then eventually I'll support lefties. I'll support X steps. We'll get forehands. We'll get, you learn different things watching the backhand from behind versus from the side. And then putting I recently released for iOS, which has been super cool. I went to the President's Cup and the OTB Open last year and filmed as many pros as I can putting, and it was like really cool to see the new data on putting. And what I found was a lot of pros at the top level, they're either very strong spin putters or very strong push putters.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of show that here. Actually, I was just talking with Zach Nash. I'll find him here. Where he's a very strong spin putter. And what that looks like here is from his lowest release to his hinge to his extension. talking with Chris Taylor, based off of the data, we see that we consider spin putters basically the elbow. If I am the basket, if I'm the pole, the elbow stays in line with the pole the entire way. Gannon does this, Casey White does this, Owen does this, as compared to other people who are a little bit more push putter where the hand stays in line. Ricky's a common example. Calvin, Harry Chase, Holland are all more of traditional push putters.
Do you have any data on whether, if I'm a brand new disc golfer and I'm trying to figure out my putting?
Yeah.
And if I'm come to you and I say, I want the best odds for success and to be a great putter, which would you recommend, spin or push?
Great question. What the data shows is the best putters on the Pro Tour inside of the circle are predominantly push putters. Outside of the circle, that's where you're going to find your spin putters.
Okay.
So if I'm a brand new player, I think I really don't want to miss 15 footers, in which case I would recommend a push putt. But maybe as you start to get a little more advanced, then you could start experimenting with a spin putt. Hey, I want to start making some that are more quote unquote outside my range. That's where I'd try more of a spin putt. I find Gannon's a big spinner, and I think that's a big thing, at least for the Pro Tour. With Owen as well, it's like they make up such a difference on the field because they're so good from outside the circle as compared to the rest of the field. So if you're really trying to get to that top level, maybe that's something you should play around with, is getting a spin putt. If you're really trying to push, but you tell Matt Bell that, who didn't miss a putt at Worlds a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
So,
very interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me real quick, how do we get this app?
So it's live on the App Store. Search Disc AI. While it's still named Disc AI, I might change the name pretty soon because AI was like cool and fun 4 or 5 years ago when I made the name, and now might be a little sad and tragic, and people hear AI and get turned off, and I don't blame them. What do you think about this? We were thinking about getting rid of the A and just doing Disc I.
Disc I?
Disc I, yeah.
My mind immediately goes to Disc I. So then I'm thinking, what is that like? Are you talking like, are we seeing something, or is this some sort of visual thing?
Yes.
Which I guess in a sense it is.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of a play on words or play on the letters.
Yeah.
I'm afraid at quick, and I'm being critical here.
Please, I love that.
I'm thinking as soon as I see it, I'll look at it and go, Disky.
Disky.
And so I'm like, what's Disky? So that would be my only thing about it. So all right. Well, I know that eventually, I know I mentioned it Disc East, but eventually I want to get and do a full episode with you on Disc Golf Answer Man.
Oh, I'd love that.
If that would be okay with you.
I think what we need to do is we need to get you into the application, use it once, see if we can
yes,
give you a quick tip or something.
No, absolutely.
So you get a little better disc golf. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no,
right?
Definitely. Use the app, try it out, and that way that'll obviously spur more questions.
Yeah.
I'm Josh from Overthrow.
And how did you get started with the Overthrow?
How long of an answer do you want? I started with Overthrow because my business partner, Mikey, he went to go teach tennis at a different country club than the one that I was at. So he directed one country club. I was directing another. And we went from seeing each other like 7 days a week to not seeing each other at all. And so his brothers were playing some disc golf, and I had played collegiately. So then jumped in, and we started playing. And from just the tennis background, he would start asking, hey, why can you do this? What is happening here? I say, well, it's kind of like tennis. When we do this, just do that. And then that happened 4 or 5 times during the round. And I went, maybe I can coach this thing. So, and then from there, we started filming. There's a whole backstory about him running into Paul Macbeth in a Chipotle and saying, can I edit for you? And then he wanted to get with me to work on shooting videos for Paul, actually, because he had never done videography for disc golf specifically.
Yeah.
So, and then Overthrow was supposed to be his practice for that. And then we got a bunch of subscribers pretty quickly. And Paul moved maybe a little too slow. to fasten Mikey down. So Overthrow became us.
Nice. Okay, so when you get a new client, a disc golf coaching client, how do you approach it? What's your initial approach with them?
So first thing with clients is always goals.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for in your disc golf game? Why are you here? And then from there, we say, if your goal is to throw 350 feet, that means you're going to need to throw 55 miles an hour with good secondary stats, like good nose angle. And so we look at where we can get that, or what's maybe not allowing you to get that distance. Sometimes it's just speed, sometimes it's form work, oftentimes it's both. So we start there, and then we kind of build out our plan based on their goals. It's unique to each person.
Is there any consistency that you find, that you notice that people have like similar questions, or a consistent question you get from client to client? Or is it all different?
It's not all different. So the positions are the same. They're really probably 4 or 5 positions that you move people through.
Yeah.
And here at Disc South, I've got a little spreadsheet. Not a spreadsheet. It's my notes app of what the problems are, and we just put them in 4 categories. And so a surprising amount of people struggle with grip.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're opening their hand, and a surprising amount of people struggle with getting in a good coil position, or reach back position, we might say. So the problems are almost always the same at this point. I've taught thousands and thousands of lessons. The unique thing is, how do I instruct you in a way that you understand and fix and can move the way that I need you to move? So it's more brain hacking. Once you know where you want it to be, you just have to figure out what words to plug in that make them do the things that you want, or what things you show them, or what you can get them to feel.
So when I first started doing Disc Golf Answer Man, we did a lot of questions that people sent in. The biggest one was, of course, how do I get more distance? What do people misunderstand about getting more distance?
In disc golf, I think there are a couple myths. Spin does not mean anything about distance. People think, I want to throw farther, I need to throw the disc with more spin. Absolutely untrue. You need speed, first and foremost. If you throw a disc 50 miles an hour, I give you 2,000 spin, you're never throwing 400 feet. You're going to throw approximately 300 feet. Second thing is form. People think form is the answer. They say, I want more distance, and I know if I work on my form, that distance will come. Not necessarily true. Form preserves whatever speed you put into the system. So if you're trying with, let's just say, 50 miles per hour of effort, if you have good form, you get 50 mile per hour throw. If you have bad form, you leak a bunch of that, and it turns into 40 miles per hour by the time you're done with the throw. So form just is efficient use of energy. But if a guy's really poor at using 70 miles per hour of energy, and it comes out to be 60 miles an hour at the end of that, he's still going to throw faster than the guy with perfect form. Speed is what distance is about. And then it's a matter of, where are you leaking energy? And then sometimes you just got to put more energy in the system. You just got to throw faster.
Wow. That's awesome. I have so many things about my form I need to work on. It's not even crazy. So we're at Disc South, the Disc Golf Expo, right? Do you get a lot of questions here when you're helping people? And is there a common question that you get?
I think it's the same as what you encounter.
Distance,
how do I throw farther?
Yeah.
So there are a few people who say, hey, I throw far enough. I just want to be able to control where my disc lands. Very few people. But mostly, how do I throw farther? What's wrong with my form? That it's pretty much that simple.
What about putting? Is there I would imagine throwing there's a lot more intricacies than putting, or am I wrong?
That I'm so glad that you dove into that, because there's this idea that putting can't be coached because it's so individual to people. I'd say that's a more prevalent idea than not for people with putting form. If they go, oh, here's my putt, can you fix it? And people say, oh, just tossing to a friend, or everyone's individual. You just got to do it till it works, and you'll figure it out someday. But there's almost no other sport where we leave just a whole part of the game up to the student to go, oh, well, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think that there are different techniques with putting. I think most people know, but I'll just say it anyways. There's push putting, there's spin putting, and then there's the in-between of push, which is kind of this category that's tough to define in between. And there are distinct technical patterns, I'll say, with each of those, right? So if you're push putting, you're probably popping up with your fingers on the flight plate, and you're going to feel that more. And so you might feel like painting the pole more, versus someone who's a spin putt, their arm's going to bend and unfold on the way to the basket a lot more. So putting's one of the most fun things to teach, because I think there's so little information out there, and it's a area that I personally have struggled in. So I have a lot of fun taking people from really broken putts to, hey, I can putt.
Nice. So what? This is obviously the first expo you've been to, right? Have you been to the other ones?
I've been to Disc East a couple times in the first venue.
Yeah.
So I didn't go this last year in the new venue.
How do you, in your eyes, as a content creator, as a coach, how important is it for disc golf to have things like an expo? Or do you think it's important at all? Do you think it helps the growth of disc golf at all?
I wonder if it helps the growth of disc golf, because are we going to get new players here? Is this going to be the place that new people interact with disc golf? I think it's really important for the health of the sport. But I think when you look at a Jomez, or you look at Brody, or you look at Foundation, these are the people who are most likely, from a content creator industry already inside of disc golf standpoint, that are connecting with the most new players. And then really, I think most people probably get into the sport from friends, family, saying, hey, come try this thing with me. So I don't know that this grows the sport and touches new players, but it's really healthy for the sport to make connections. Like, I met you here, and it really builds the connections between all of disc golf. I think outside, before I started content creating, I didn't realize how small and how connected disc golf was. And then all of a sudden, you start content creating, it's like, oh, Bobby over here, Hunter over here from Foundation, everybody knows each other. And you get a lot of that camaraderie and connection at an expo like this that is really unique to disc golf. So I think it highlights disc golf strength.
Nice. I hadn't thought about that, as far as this not really being for new growth, but for strengthening the growth of disc golf and keeping it at a healthy pace of growth. So I like that. Well, I appreciate the time, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. This is great.
My name is Broderic Thompson.
And what's your claim to fame in disc golf, Broderic?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess I just make YouTube videos that people like to watch after work when they're sitting on the couch.
So we're at Disc South, the Disc Golf Expo. Tell me, why is this a cool thing for you as a content creator, someone in that space, to be at an expo like this?
So I feel like as a content creator, you get like maybe 2 or 3 values out of this. One, you make some money. That is awesome. It's like a good way to make income. 2, you meet hundreds of fans potentially, and maybe some people who didn't know who you were, but then they come up and now they know who you are. And so it just builds that personal connection in that. you meet the people who support you. It's just like so important in this game. I always say like disc golf is basically a crowd-funded sport, which like everything kind of is. But without the fans, like disc golf as a career like doesn't exist, kind of. And there's that aspect where it's just like you meet the people who support you, but then also as a creator, I feel like the pros are here. They see each other every week, so they're not like, oh, good to see a competitor that I'm gonna see next week at the course. But for me, it's like I get to see all my creator friends that I might only see every 6 months, every year maybe, or you know, so it's like this one time where we all get to come together and hang out and, you know, become better friends. And that's like one of my favorite aspects. It's like when I think of like, okay, Disc South is coming up, the business side of it, super cool, but more it's like the relationship side of it is like one of the best things. I think this is where you meet everyone in the industry. Jesse from Trash Fan, I call him like the great like connector. He introduces me to everybody because he knows everybody. And it's like, so now I know all these people, and like, it's just, I don't know, there's so much value both in business and just like personal relationships. And everyone, I feel like you can relate to a lot of the people here. We're all kind of playing the same game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's one of them things where at the end of it, you're so tired, but it kind of you're dead tired physically. Mentally, I feel like you're rejuvenated almost, because you see like the positive of everything here. This is the complete opposite of reading your negative YouTube comments. That is the Disc Golf Expo. It's like if you took all your positive YouTube comments and just read them for 2 days straight. That's the Disc Golf Expos.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna say anything bad in your face,
exactly.
right?
They're only saying nice things, and you're like, this is the best.
I love it.
That's it right there.
So what's a common thing when you meet people at your booth? What's a common question or comment that you get?
I feel like for me, it is a lot of kind of how I said at the beginning of like, oh man, I just like love the like relaxing to your videos, or just like I get home from work after a long day and I see a notification that you posted and I'm like, yes. And I love that. Like I've said it, I think I'd have multiple different situations, whether it be the creator panel or 2 people this weekend, but like there's a reason I post my videos at 6 p.m. instead of noonish, is because I want them to be like kind of fresh when people get off work.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when they like need to kind of chill and relax.
I like that.
And so I like aim for that time slot, because I think a lot of my audience is like, that's when they're watching them. So.
Is there anything that you wish or anything you wish they would ask you? Maybe something you want them to know about you that they don't get from your videos and get from just asking you here?
I don't think there's anything specifically like that I'm like, oh, I wish people like cared about this. But also there is that weird, what do they call it? Where it's like, they know us, we don't know them.
Yeah.
And then some people, they'll come up and meet you and like, they're a little scared, or I don't know if that's the right word, but they're scared to like talk to you like a normal person. And it's like, no, just talk to me like a normal person, you know? Like, I appreciate that you're like this big of a fan or a supporter, but also like you can just say like, talk to me like anybody else, because you do kind of know me, you know? And, like, you do. I don't know you, but tell me about yourself. I don't know, you know? So
Do you ever get, speaking of like people knowing you, because I get that sometimes too, is people walk by and they're like, I feel like I already know all about you. I have had people ask me questions about my Shields, right?
yeah.
How did things go at Shields? Oh yeah, you left Shields. And I'm like, how did you? Oh, that's right. I talk about it in videos.
Yeah.
Is there anything about that you try to protect, or that you're scared about sharing?
I feel like I'm pretty open about like, I mean, I think a lot of my like core audience knows like my story of like doing videography, kind of hating it, and then being like, well, I just play disc golf every day, and then now I do like I just like use camera gear to film disc golf now, and then you know, and I feel like I've shared a good amount of like my history. That's a big thing in my brand, I feel like, is the fact that like I've played this sport my whole life, like since I was a kid. And that's something that I've always shared, especially early on. I would talk a lot about like oh yeah, growing up I did this and this and this, and I just love to talk about it because I love looking back on all the friends I grew up playing with are still my best friends. So it's like that nostalgic feeling for me that I love talking about, and I love that people, I feel like, are interested in that.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well,
Nice. I like it. All right. Well, thanks for the conversation.
yeah, thank you.
I'm Steve Hill. I work for UDisc.
Yeah, but you've been around for some time.
I've been around for a little bit of time.
Yeah. Tell me.
Probably not as long as you have, though, I don't think.
Well, when did you start doing disc golf stuff?
Doing disc golf stuff?
Yeah.
Probably, I think it was 2000, let's see, 2012 probably.
Okay.
I started writing for a blog called Rattling Chains. It was with a guy who was based out of New York.
Yeah.
And we just did a little blog thing. And then, as sometimes would happen back in that era of disc golf, it didn't last just because like it takes a lot of work
It
to like
does.
maintain something like that, and it was all volunteerism, right? We weren't getting paid anything. It was a
Right.
blog. So that kind of fell by the wayside. That was like 11 or 12, and then I started up my own blog, very silly, called Noodle Arm Disc Golf, and I did reviews from like the perspective of someone who didn't throw far, because
Yeah.
I didn't, and I still don't. And did that for a little while, and then I ended up I was on the disc golf subreddit one day, and I saw that there was some website called UltiWorld, and they were trying. It was in an they did ultimate coverage, and they were starting up a disc golf, or they wanted to start up a disc golf side, covering like pro stuff. And admittedly, I wasn't like huge into the pros then. I had talked to some of the players like from some of the other blog times. I think I'd interviewed like Paul and Ricky for some of the blog things and things like that, but I wasn't a huge like pro follower. But I was like, well, I like doing this. I like writing. I have a journalism background. That's what my degree's in, and this is cool. Let's give it a shot. And Charlie Eisenhood, who runs the Upshot and UltiWorld still, he liked my work and hired me, and so I was the first editor at UltiWorld Disc Golf back in almost 10 years ago now, 2016.
Wow.
And then we did that and the Upshot podcast for a couple years. And then throughout that process, I made other relationships in the industry. That probably would have been like when I met you around that time, covering GBO and things like that. And then struck up some relationships with people at the PDGA at the time. They hired me to do communications stuff. Was there for a couple years, and then a lot of that work really involved just like a ton of travel, and it's easy to get kind of burnt out on a lot of the travel like that when you're just going and like working all day and then also all night to do the content that goes along with it. And you know, I have a family and everything. I didn't want to be on the road all the time, and so early 2020, Matt and Josh at UDisc listed a job for marketing. And I was like, well, I don't want to travel as much. I really enjoyed the PDGA job, but I didn't want to travel as much, and it was going to keep involving travel. And so I was like, well, I'd gotten to know Matt and Josh from working in the industry, thought they were great, really loved UDisc and UDisc Live as a product. And I was like, well, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And so I applied, and then the pandemic happened. Everything shut down, didn't hear from them for a while. And I was just like, that's fine. I was with the PDGA at the time. They had a partnership with the PDGA, so I imagine there might have been like a little bit of a hesitance. I even think when I applied, I was like, hey guys, I know this might be like slightly uncomfortable.
Right.
And so anyway, long story short, things start to open back up, and disc golf is a thing that people can really do and enjoy during the time of the pandemic when we were still like pre-vaccines and everything like that. And disc golf was going. I think if we're listening to this, people, I just made a rocket,
Hockey stick
a rocket
up,
motion
yeah.
upwards, and Matt and Josh reached out and we're like, hey, let's do this. And so here we are. That was in 2020, and I've been with UDisc ever since.
So what is
Sorry, that was a really long, long intro.
No, I think that builds a story for people and understand where we're going to next, which is what is kind of your day-to-day with UDisc now?
That's a really, really good question. It kind of involves a little bit of everything. I don't do any software development. I'm not a developer. A lot of what I do is content, partnerships, and really what we've shifted to recently is I'm part of what's called the ecosystem team. And our goal with the ecosystem team is to help power the growth of disc golf through various ways in which we create this like cyclical ecosystem of growth. And some of that comes from working with people in the sport who are organizers, people who run tournaments, leagues, people who own stores, course designers, things like that, sharing data with them, helping them tell their stories about success so that we can then learn from them and take that and then take disc golf and pitch it to external audiences. And so a lot of what I'm doing is in that vein right now of like learning from people, creating content out of it. I'm the lead writer of our annual disc golf growth report. We're about to release our 6th one of those, where we're able to just tell the big story of what disc golf is happening using the data that we are able to get from people who are playing rounds with UDisc. And then
Wow.
You're good. And then and so a lot of it is that trying to tell the story of disc golf and prove to people that, hey, this is a thing that like you should invest in. Like we all know this in the industry. But like we're kind of at the point where growth isn't just going to happen to us anymore. Like we like the disc golf growth in the pandemic just kind of happened to us. And like a lot of places in the industry, in my estimation, weren't necessarily ready for that. And thankfully, like we've kind of gotten to the other side of that now. And now it's like, okay, if we want to keep growing and keep sustaining, and I'm not saying we're going to do the hockey stick thing again. That's not sustainable. But if we do want to continue to grow and like thrive and have healthy businesses and a healthy community in disc golf, we have to effort it a little bit more. So that's kind of what I'm doing and what our team is doing is we're kind of, instead of just being the disc golf app, UDisc, we're trying to like evolve into being disc golf advocates.
I like it. Oh man, air's dry. So for me, to be transparent, I know you as the UDisc app, right?
Sure, yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's your kind of, that's how people know you, that's how people interact with you is through the app, in a sense. What's something that people maybe misunderstand or don't realize the power of the app? I mean, I know there's days, I know I haven't tapped into everything that's in the app.
Right.
So what's something you want people to understand that, like, did you know that the app did this?
Man, I think like, I know this sounds probably just like a transparent ploy to get more people to use the app, but truly recording your round, like taking the effort to input your scores, or like you can turn scores off. There's like a setting when you first set up a round, like you choose the course, you choose the layout, you put the players in, and then there's a toggle that says scores on, scores off. You turn the scores off if you want and don't have to pay attention to your score. But like every time you do that and record your round, that's powering the data that we have to give back to people. And so like one of the biggest things that we do, we're not trying to be your stereotypical tech company. Like I think a lot of people, obviously, like it's 2026, a lot of tech companies are acquiring your data and selling it.
Right.
We're not doing that.
Right.
We don't want to do that. Our incentives are such that we want disc golf to grow, because like we're also very well positioned. If disc golf does continue growing, we're in a very fortunate position where people are probably going to find UDisc if disc golf does keep growing. And so what we want to do is continue to use that data and translate it for people and give it to them and package it up so that they can say, hey, I've got this report, Parks and Rec department. Here's how much disc golf's being played in my area. We need more courses. Look at these numbers. And we have people take that and they use it to gain funding, to get sponsorships for events, to basically advocate for more infrastructure. And that's probably like the thing that we're really trying to do a much better job at, is communicating to people that is what we're able to do. But we can't do that if people aren't recording their rounds. And so it's like the app is the front-facing thing. It's the thing that you as a player and I as a player are going to use and interface with. Mm-hmm. But there's also all this stuff beneath the surface of like taking the data, packaging it, distributing it. We send 10,000 emails every month. They're called impact reports. And we send 10,000 of them to organizers all over the world every month. That just gives them an aggregate of disc golf play and activity in their area. And that's probably the most important thing we do right now.
Is that something that I have to qualify for, or I just literally sign up?
You can sign if you're. So we have this thing. We have this program for. They're called course ambassadors. Okay. If you are someone who is like, you're the club president, or even if you're just like the person who moves around baskets or whatever at your course, you sign up on the app and you get these reports sent to you. Or if you're someone who's just interested in trying to grow disc golf in your area, we can get you those reports too. If you email us, the address is hello@udisc.com, and you can say, hey, I'm looking for information on disc golf. Probably not in Emporia, because you know where a lot of that's going on.
Right.
But, you know, I'm looking for information on disc golf in Wichita because I want to build more courses in my area. Can you tell me what's up? We'll send you that information. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So I'm imagining you guys sit on a lot of data.
Yeah.
Right? What is, give me a couple of pieces of data that you think most people would be surprised to learn.
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, because we're about to release our annual reporting on this stuff. I think people would be surprised to learn that 9-hole courses are getting installed at double the rate of 18-hole courses.
Double the rate?
Double the rate. For like a couple years in a row now.
Wow.
And actually, there are more courses in the UDisc directory that are less than 18 holes than 18 holes or more.
Really?
So the majority of courses are these short courses now. And we're seeing these trends of it's a way for there to be more accessibility for disc golf. Let's see. I don't know. What's another good surprising one? The one I love, and I think you probably got to hear it earlier today, there's more disc golf courses in the U.S. than Dunkin' Donuts shops. There's more disc golf courses in the U.S. than Taco Bell locations. And there's more disc golf courses in the U.S. than Domino's pizza shops.
Wow.
And like, I really love that one because it's just a way for people to compare disc golf to something that everyone knows every day. Like, disc golf is a lot bigger than people realize.
Yeah.
And I think you've probably seen it. I've been in the industry long enough to, it's been really rewarding to be around long enough to see where, like, I don't know, when I started playing back in 2011, you told someone what disc golf was, they looked at you like you had two heads.
Right.
Right? Now, they look at you like you just have one head, and they actually probably know what it is.
Right.
And, like, we have truly evolved. I think some people really want us to be a lot farther than we are, but, like, if you've been in this thing long enough, we have grown and progressed, even in just the awareness department, to where it's like, you don't just, like, you used to have to say disc golf. You'd be like, huh? And say, you know, like frisbee golf or golf with frisbee. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I think that's the thing. You can just say disc golf to someone now, and they're not as confused.
Right.
And like, it's a small thing, but it feels really good for people who've been in the industry a long time to see that evolution.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I would say recently when I do mention disc golf, you're right. It's like, it isn't the what? It's more of the, oh, I tried that. And it's like,
I've seen that thing in my park.
Yeah, and it is different for that initial reaction, because it used to be more of like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So
yeah, it's really cool. I mean, like, yeah, we still got a long way to go, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think like our thing that we're always comparing disc golf to is pickleball, because like everyone loves pickleball, and you can't stop getting pickleball courts in. Like, I would love it if disc golf was as proliferating as pickleball right now.
Yeah.
But like, just it is really cool when you zoom out and like really do see there has been progress for disc golf. It's exciting.
Yeah. So you mentioned the 9-hole course double the rate. Do you think, and the obvious, like you said, is because we want more family fun type atmosphere rather than the champion course. And that was even kind of brought up in one of our panels today during the course design, is that people might be surprised that not everybody wants a championship course, and a championship course may not be I don't know if I want to say the best for the growth. Obviously, it'll help, but it does feel like 9-hole courses or more fun courses actually would benefit the growth of disc golf. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think to piggyback on to the stat about 9-hole courses, we also see in our data that people who start playing like when their first round is at a 9-hole course or just a shorter course, a beginner-friendly course, they're 10% more likely to come back for a second round, which, like, 10% isn't massive, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, we know that if you go to a fun course and have a good time, you're more likely to come back. So, like, if you go out with your friends, or if you're gonna, let's say you're listening to this show, you're playing disc golf. If you're gonna take your new buddy out to the course, are you gonna take him to Idlewild?
Right.
Or maybe that's a bad example.
Yeah, that's...
but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
I get it.
necessarily want to take them for the course that you might like as much. You might want to take them for something that fits their level a little bit more. And so that's kind of how we think about it. Like, it's more about, like, I almost think about it as like having like a feeder system. I live in a town in Southern California where we have an 18-hole course at university. We have a 9-hole course. And we have a 6-hole course. It's like this little, tiny little 6-hole course in a public park. Holes are like 150, maybe 200 feet max. It's totally meant for like kids and new people.
Yeah.
We almost have like a system you can build up to. Like you could start the 6-hole course, work your way up to the 9-hole course, play the 18-hole course. And like that's how I think about it a lot, is if we can, whichever angle you take, right? If you're gonna take the championship level course first route, it's going to take you longer, probably. We've one of the big things that we've seen and that we've learned about. We talked about this in our presentation today that we gave. Is like, it seems random, but Iceland has like the most disc golf courses per capita of anywhere in the world. They have one course for every 4,500 people or something like that.
Okay.
But what it took for that to happen was not the 18-hole championship course. It took learning that the 18-hole championship course was not the right thing. They started out with a really hard course that really they put in because the disc golfers who were into it wanted it. And it turned out it was too hard for most people, and disc golf didn't really take off. The guy who built that course then had an opportunity to build a 14-hole course in a park in downtown Reykjavik, which is the capital city of Iceland. And this course was, and I got a chance to play it last summer. It's great. Short holes, couple 100 feet each. Initially, the thinking was, oh, this is going to be too easy for people. Like, people aren't going to like it. People loved it because it's accessible, it's walkable from downtown, and it's short, fun holes. And now you go to Iceland and you drive around and there's courses everywhere. There's baskets, like, you know, just with like little recreation centers, and they have these cool little bounce. They're almost like inflatable trampoline pads there that we could never get away with in the States for liability purposes. But there's disc golf courses everywhere. I actually kind of like, I don't know how many people who listen to Answer Man are like super tuned into Emporia.
Right.
I think they probably have a good sense of what Emporia is. I almost think of Iceland as like if Emporia were a whole country.
Oh, wow.
Like Emporia has so many baskets.
Yeah.
There's so many courses. That's how it is all over Iceland.
Wow.
And the reason that it's stuck like that is because they had this like more entry level, beginner friendly course in a highly populated area. It wasn't because of the big scary 18-hole course championship level. So they kind of learned the hard way a little bit that, yeah, you can have the hard, challenging course, but it might take you a lot longer to build your scene. And now they did a survey in Iceland in 2022. 20% of the population has played disc golf. If 20% of the U.S. population played disc golf, that would be 70 million people.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot for us to learn about how to maybe rethink and potentially reposition disc golf to not just be for us, the current disc golfers, but what it could be for future disc golfers. Because if we build a nice system for everybody, the way I think about it is like every town has soccer fields, a lot of them. Every town has basketball courts. Every town has tennis courts. Not every town has a disc golf course, right? And that doesn't mean every town needs to have a championship level course, but maybe they just need 6 baskets, 9 baskets, or 18 holes that are not par 5s or par 4s, like just accessible, fun stuff for people to have a good time and like really realize, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. So is it fair to say that, or could it be, so getting the data helps bring in a new course, but have you seen instances where the data helps maybe a current disc golf course be better maintained?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll get people who are able to, there's different ways you can go about that. I know there's people who use some of even just the course traffic data, like time of day or time of week data, to give to their Parks and Rec department and say, hey, these are the off days. These are the days when maybe you can go out and do the maintenance. There's people who can use the data to, lobby for more funding. Like, hey, people are coming in from here, there, and everywhere to play the course. We've been trying to get some more like benches and stuff. Like, they're going to get used. So yeah, it's a cross section of things. There's improving your existing courses, expanding your existing courses, or just new courses. We've talked to people all over the place, but one that really jumps out is up in British Columbia, Canada. They're the guys up there in I think it's the Highland Valley Disc Golf Association.
Mm-hmm.
They told us they were able to get 3 new courses.
Wow.
Because of just being able to have the measurement of the data. Mm-hmm. They were able to say, hey, there's a demand here. And they were able to use that to advocate. And so that's really what we want to do. We just want to be able to give that information back to people who are going to take it and continue advocating for more growth with it.
So it sounds like to me that if you're a player, you want to see your course upkeep get improved, you want to see new courses in your area, a very simple way of doing that is literally just getting on the UDisc app and keeping a record of your rounds.
I know it sounds so simple.
Right?
But it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, how many times do you go out to your home course? What's your home course these days?
My home course would be somewhere in Tulsa, and I really have been liking Hakey Creek.
Okay. And how often when you go play there do you like record it on UDisc?
Not that often.
Right? But you're not alone.
Right, but hearing this perspective makes me think. Now, my buddy Braxton, when we go play, he's always, because he's a little more, I feel like he's on more of the competitive side. He wants to see how well he did compared to last time.
Sure.
See, he's always the one that says, what's your username again, or something like that.
Sure. So he's recording you at least.
It, but if he doesn't, then I typically don't.
Sure. And that's, look.
But now it's like, make me think, you know what? I can simply just record my score, and then I can kind of challenge myself, and then I can kind of think, okay, I'm helping my course that I enjoy playing be upkept better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's one of those things we kind of like, I call them home course heroes.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are those disc golfers who you go play the same course, you know the lines, you know which holes you're going to birdie, you know how to get around the course. You maybe don't quote unquote need UDisc for that course, right? Like UDisc will help you get around a new course all day. You want to record your score at a new course just to say you played there, but like at your day-to-day, everyday home course, I get that you're not as motivated to take out your phone and record the score. Sometimes you just want to disconnect.
Right.
I get that. That's why we play disc golf. But look, even if you get to hole 1, open it up, you get a little walking path of what you're doing, leave it in your bag, and then go, like, at hole 9, put your scores in, and at hole 18, put your scores in. It doesn't have to be... It doesn't have to. I understand where people are coming from if they want to like disconnect from their phone, not have to be thinking about their screen. I get it. Like I don't, because what I'll do, I'll go out sometimes during like, I work for UDisc. I can go out and play during the midday, right? It's welcome. But then I'm also, if I'm opening my phone to enter my score, here's a message from work and here's the thing, and it kind of takes me out of the game, right? Yeah. And it takes me a little bit away from why I went out there in the first place. Yeah. So I totally get why people would not want to do that. But my hope would be that they can understand that, hey, I can take a couple extra minutes, either before the round, set it up, forget it, or after the round, go in and enter my scores, and I'm making a difference for my community, and I'm showing truly that like this course is being used.
Yeah.
And then people who are in the community doing that work to advocate for more support, more funding, more courses, whatever, I'm giving back that way. Yeah.
That's very interesting. All right, well, Steve, I appreciate you taking the time to
Thanks,
have a
man. It was great to
conversation.
talk to you. This was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Scott Withers, been in the game forever, as you know. I've been with the PDGA for about a year now, in charge of tournament director programs. So literally I'm here to make it easier and more beneficial to run tournaments. And that includes kind of facilitating new TD training opportunities, being a resource for existing tournament directors to kind of help them find their way with different, maybe players packs offerings here coming up, or just ways to make it more beneficial for you to run an event, to teach the technology that we have, to teach you how to use live scoring and all that. So that's my role, is to be an asset to the people that are out volunteering and being leaders of the community.
Let's actually go over there. It is kind of loud.
Yeah.
I need Dustin to fire a lot of this.
Jump out in the lobby. There's so much background noise.
I know. I think this would be good right here.
Cool.
So why was this? Is it a new program with you, the TD,
Yeah.
or is it already? Okay, so why did the PDGA feel like this is a program that was needed?
Yeah, it's to give back to the volunteers, right? The people that are running tournaments out in the PDGA landscape are the backbone of everything that's going on. If you play your first tournament, it's not the people in the PDGA office that are providing that experience to you, good or bad, as a player. It's your local tournament directors. And the need was really seen to reach out to those people who are truly the ones doing the work out in the communities and give back. So to build this TD program, to build training opportunities and stuff, it just made way too much sense. Like, you got to invest in your volunteers, and that's what this position's in place to do.
Have you got a lot of positive feedback from people that have done it?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Like, I'm teaching a new TD Academy type thing every quarter right now, and we'll take 40 to 50 brand new TDs who have never run an event before, and we do live calls where first session we'll talk about like why to run a tournament. Second one we'll sanction an event. Third one we'll build disc golf scene pages together. Fourth one we'll learn how to use like Tournament Manager, Tournament Central, and then it leads into them running their own C tier for the first time. So
Wow.
with players packs that are ready for them to go, we set all the events up the same. So it's taking 40 to 50 people who have never run an event before and putting them in the TD world, but they've got training. They've got to sit through and build pages together and ask questions with someone that's there for them. So that's been a huge success. Our TD training program right now through the end of March, we're doing a 50 disc reward for anyone that gets through the online portal that we have going. It's been crazy popular lately because you get 50 discs for the next month
yeah.
for finishing it. So,
Wow. So after talking to these people that are newly running tournaments,
yeah.
what's probably the biggest misunderstanding that people have when it comes to running a tournament?
How hard it is to get started.
Yeah.
And I think the misconception a lot of times is like, well, I can't do it because, well, it's really not. Like, there isn't the barriers that they may think that they can't get by. And I think that's the biggest misconception, is just like, oh, it's so hard to do this. The PDGA has made a lot of efforts with like our live digital scorecards and everything in the last 5 years to make it really easy for tournament directors. Like, we're not sitting here writing out paper cards for 4 hours the night before and trying to do it all by hand anymore.
I remember those days.
Yeah, your groups take 5 minutes to build. Your layouts take 10 minutes to put into Tournament Manager.
Wow.
In between rounds doesn't take very long. So TDs are a little bit spoiled now compared to what it was maybe 10 years ago. And that's a lot of it's to do with technology advances. But our brand new tournament directors that are trying to do our academy, they just walk in kind of, I don't want to say, like, these are the ones that have reached out to us, so they're not scared to take that step. But the misconception, I would say, is like, it's really hard to do. And if you are able to organize an event, you're able to advertise for what you want to do, you can learn the technology. Whether you're 18 years old just getting into it or 70 years old and retired, like, we can teach you how to use the stuff pretty quickly to run your tournament successfully.
So let's say I'm a guy that's like, I'm loving disc golf. I want to do some tournaments in my area.
Yeah.
From day one, or go from that starting point, how quickly can I go from, I want to have a tournament in my local community, to actually running that tournament?
Yeah, from point A to the end date, probably maybe 2 months.
Okay.
In terms of let's get you a course that you can do it at, right? How do you reach out to the city or your county or wherever the park is and get that approved? How do we get your event on Disc Golf Scene? How long do you really need to advertise it? How many players are you trying to do it for? Because that matters, right? It's easy to recruit 20 players, but if you're trying to get 200, maybe it takes longer. First tournament, if you reach out and use the tools that are in place and use our PDGA staff at this point, in 2 months, you could have an event from let's dream this up, let's get a permit, let's sanction the event, let's get some players, and let's go.
Awesome. All right, real quick, tell us, how does someone get started with this?
To be started with the TD, or to be a TD with the PDGA, one, figure out if you want to do it. Talk to some of your local club members, figure out if it's something you got going on, you have time for, and you have the energy for. And by all means, reach out to us. My email is swithers@pdga.com. Easy. Send me an email. I will shoot you back some info. We'll see what you need to get started. And that's what I'm here for. It's my whole job, is getting people kind of integrated in the TD environment, the TD landscape, in all of disc golf. You just have questions, that's what we're here for. Our event support team's here for it. That's what my position is. So we would love to have new people trying to grow the sport, and let's keep it moving forward.
Thank you for the conversation,
Yes,
Scott.
sir.
Dustin Sanford.
And you work for or own or what is
Armory Disc Golf.
Armory Disc Golf?
Yeah.
So where are you based out of?
College Station, Texas.
So you were at Disc East.
Yeah.
You're at Disc South here today. Yep. What is for a store owner, what does the expo mean for you?
Man, being from Texas, this is really cool because we know a lot of these people. So for us, it's just like being involved in the community, getting out there, bringing some cool products. We got to support our boy Silas and Jay Millie. So that was really cool. Help them get some money for their, touring efforts and stuff like that. Being involved in the community, seeing people. I also love, as a retailer, it's really fun for me to be able to walk around and meet and talk to other retailers across the nation, other manufacturers, talk to them, hearing a little bit of your story, your background with you and like what you guys are doing with DD and House of Disc and stuff like that. That's really cool.
How important is that to disc golf, to be able to talk to people face to face at something like this?
Yeah, I think it's cool. The disc golf world is still really small, which is fun. And so knowing what everybody is like doing and where we're pushing and talking, one of the things I was talking to other retailers around here is USPS increased their shipping rates for holiday season, which happens every year. Usually they drop it after the first of the year. They didn't this year. And so we're all talking like, hey, how are you managing this? And talking about that and like, what are your plans and how are you able to manage costs and stuff, because we have to pay a lot of the shipping costs. So that's been really cool being able to do that. What was your original question?
Oh, just how
my brain's fried, Bobby.
I'm so tired too. I get it. We need to remind the listeners it's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
We only have less than an hour to go and we're done. It was just how important is it to be able to?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you work with these. You work with customers all the time. You work with manufacturers all the time. But to be able to see them face to face, how that helps.
Yeah, it's been really cool. We've become good friends with Don with DFX over the last couple of years. We met him in person last year at Disc South, and being able to see Don at each of these events and talk to him and see how they're doing, being able to ask questions. We've only been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. We're going on our 5th year. So being able to talk to guys that have been doing it longer and say, hey, how did you manage this? What are you doing here?
We'll do this.
Learning from people, asking good questions. Just showing your face out there. That's been really, really cool. And then knowing kind of the direction that disc golf is going, because we have our ideas of what disc golf's doing and where we're going. Talking to the UDisc guys, that was really cool because PDGA numbers are they're decreasing, which everybody sees that. So everybody's doom and gloom about disc golf and the state of disc golf. And UDisc is like, no, their numbers are actually increasing. Casual disc golf is still growing. Not exponentially like it was in COVID, but it's still growing. They're seeing more and more people. So that was really cool.
How does that speak to you as a store owner?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I'm in a college town. Like we have new customers almost every day in our store, like getting started playing. And so there's still potential within disc golf that now I think we have to move away from so much of like the top end disc golf and like, what do we do local communities getting these guys in, because those guys will come in and they'll buy a starter pack or whatever it is. And I'm first off like, stop playing Research Park. It's got too much water. You're going to lose all your disc. Like, don't go play there. Go play these easier courses. And that's really exciting because there's still people coming into the sport and it's not over. Disc golf is still growing, but we see the Pro Tour numbers and we see PDGA numbers and see all that decrease, but casual disc golf is still growing. That was really cool to talk to those guys about. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for having a conversation with me.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah. All right. So tell me, what's your name?
I'm Gannon Buhr.
And what do you do?
I throw frisbees a lot, professionally.
So Gannon, I remember you. I can't remember what Junior Worlds it was at.
Do you know where it was at?
I'm trying. It was me and Robert, and we were walking around.
Was it Emporia or was it?
No, it was not. But it was super
Quad
hot.
Cities, probably.
Maybe that's what it was.
Okay, it was super hot that year.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was my second one. That was when I won by a lot.
And you were throwing, and I was like, "Dang, that dude can throw far."
Yes.
Take me back to that time period. Did you think you would be where you're at right now?
I don't know. I feel like it kind of just all like happened. Like I knew I was good, obviously. I had 2 Junior Worlds wins where I won by 30 plus strokes.
That's probably saying something.
Against people my age. So I obviously knew I was better than people my age.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess it all just kind of happened like naturally, kind of fell into place. I wasn't really thinking about it too much at the time because I was just kind of going with the motions. I think I was playing advanced maybe or intermediate back then. And then, yeah, just like after my second Junior Worlds win in Emporia, then I moved up to Open that same year, but kind of just happened.
Are you having a good time?
Disc golfing?
Yeah. Doing all this.
Yeah. It's the best. I mean, I don't know what else I want to do other than disc golf, so it's my dream. I mean, I remember telling myself, I was 10 years old at my home course. I remember exactly which tee pad it was at. I was like, well, I don't really want to, I wasn't a huge fan of school, and I didn't want to work at like a real job. So I was like, if I work hard enough, if I do it right, I could be a pro disc golfer. At the time, you might have thought I was crazy, but I guess I always thought I could do it. I don't know.
Your mom has always been very supportive of you. Everybody knows that. And I remember times of going to tournaments and talking with her and stuff like that while she was taking you to all kinds of tournaments. When the idea of you doing this for a living or as a career, was she super supportive? Was there ever a time of like, are you sure this is what you want to do?
Oh, she was definitely like the most supportive. She's like still insanely supportive today. And I mean, like, she never once told me like, hey, like, you gotta really focus on college or focus on doing this, doing that. Like, she just took me literally wherever I wanted to go and drove me 10 hours for a B tier one time that there was no payout at. So like crazy. I just got like I think I had a player's pack. It was maybe like a cheap bag or something, but
yeah,
she would do that stuff for me just to like, I don't know, get me ready. And like, I think that was part of it, was like going about it the right way. I didn't jump up to Open too quick. I got all the wins in all the amateur divisions before I moved up, and she took me to all these big events. I understood how to play in massive fields of hundreds of people. I was playing against adults, obviously, but at these big AM tournaments, like the Bowling Green AMs, AM Worlds, Ledgestone was a huge one every year we went to, and then obviously like Junior Worlds was kind of a different vibe, but same idea. So she took me to all these big tournaments that kind of, I feel like, mentally got me ready for tour, honestly, just having it ingrained in my brain since, half my age now. Yep.
That's awesome. What's something that you think people misunderstand about playing professionally?
Oh gosh, I don't know. To me, I feel like it's easier than you think. Like the skill gap between like your local pro to being like a decent touring pro is not that much. It's really like decision making, and I feel like it's a lot more achievable than you would think. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty good right now. But I feel like it's I feel like it's like I feel like I can improve so much, and if I'm the best player in the world, and I'm thinking that still. I mean, there's things that you can see on video that I'm not good at. I'm not good at touch shots.
Like what? Like
touch shots, like real short, touchy shots, even like touch forehand sometimes. I'd say like throwing like hyzer flip and being really touchy with that, like, or having all the angles on like forehand shots and really confident with it. Like, there's so many things that I'm missing week to week, and you know, I'm the highest rated right now. So I feel like there's no reason that players up and coming can't do that better than me and be better than me. Like, I think it's there. I think it's a lot easier than people think.
So are you the kind of player with these weaknesses that you see, those things you do? Are you the kind of player that works hard on that, or are you more just say, I'm just going to play to my strengths?
Well, I'm kind of in a weird position because I've been really successful the last couple of years doing what I do.
Right.
Obviously, if I see a big hole in my game, I'll work on it. But also, I don't think there's a single shot that I don't have. I have every angle. I can do it. It's just like the rate that I do it at isn't as consistent as like someone else. Like Macbeth is just considerably better than me at, you know, like I was naming before, all those touch things. But then I'm better at other things, and I feel like the tough part is it worth it to try to like improve? Is it like, I've had that problem with distance. Like I watch AB throw, and we have a very similar build and frame and form, honestly. But I know I can make a couple form tweaks, but I'm like, is it really worth it? Because I'm playing so good right now. I mean, I've shot almost perfect rounds before, and it's like, my play is always going to be number one to me. I don't really care to be, I mean, it'd be cool to be flashy, but it doesn't really matter that much. And like, I don't know, I feel like I just don't know if I want to take that risk. In the past, I was fine with taking the one step back to take the 2 steps forward, but I just don't know if it's worth it right now. I don't even really, it kind of scares me to try to even think about messing with it. So, I don't know. I mean, I definitely do work really hard on things that I'm not good at. I think I work on it mostly. I mean, I go to my home course with putters only and throw hundreds of shots when I'm home, and still I'm just not good at them. So it's like, I'm not sure what I need to do, you know?
Yeah. What does practice look like for you?
I mean, a lot of it's weather dependent. I can always putt inside because I have a basket in my house. So toward the end of the off season, I was doing 300 putts a day from 30 feet. I don't practice from anywhere else. I only do 30-foot practice, and I just try to get the reps in. Once I can kind of get if I ever feel myself getting rusty putting because I maybe don't practice a lot, as long as I get a lot of reps in, and I'm combining that with the hand-eye coordination of like the aim point that I'm aiming at. So I usually pick a spot in the air, and once I get that, I can feel like I can hold the putter and I can throw it in the airspace that I want to. Whenever I'm feeling kind of rusty, I like can't control where in the air I'm throwing it. It's kind of more just like a prayer, basically. So that's something I keep up pretty consistent with, especially as the season approaches, and then I just throw into a net in the basement in the off season. But practice, I mean, I play practice rounds as much as I try to take off days. It's hard because it's so boring. You're like, what are you supposed to do? We play disc golf, you know? And I'm just like, you know, a young adult that like doesn't really have any other hobbies. So it's like, I don't really know what to do other than just, I'm bored. Let's go play a practice round. Even if my body's not feeling good, just kind of how it happens. And then,
you don't have any other hobbies?
I mean, I do, just like nothing that like
what?
I'm willing to put the time into. I mean, I super random ones, like tiny ones that, and sometimes they're situational. Like I just got into like hunting for shark teeth in Florida because my dad lives in Florida. Like, how am I supposed to do that anywhere else, you know?
Right.
Rubik's cubes. But the problem is when I do that too much, my like finger actually gets kind of hurt. It like gets like sore, and then I like start sucking a disc golf.
Are you doing like speed? Like
speed solving.
The speed?
Yeah, speed solving. So I'm pretty quick, but also if I get too addicted, I get arthritis in my hand. I mean, I don't even know. But so that I like to play 2 video games, Fortnite and Minecraft. But that's also just like, it's a very short span. Like, just none of these hobbies like last a long time, or it's something I can do year round. There's a lot of things I love doing. I love golfing. I like trampoline parks. I like doing all this stuff, but it's not something that you just like go and do. Like, I don't know.
So what is your ultimate goal you want to achieve in disc golf?
The GOAT.
The GOAT, huh?
I'll be the GOAT. Yeah.
What does the GOAT mean? What does that mean to you?
consistent dominance over at least a decade is like to get yourself in the conversation. I feel like you have to be in the mix or be the top player for like 10 years. You know, I'm kind of on like I had the most wins in 2023. Obviously, I had the most in 2024 and 2025. So we'll see what this year brings, 2026. But this could be like, you could say, you know, the third or fourth year of my kind of dominance. And so my goal is to keep that up, because you can't achieve the GOAT status unless you play for a long time consistently. You don't have any time off, and you're always up there in the mix. And so that's just like mentally really hard to try to maintain that, because I don't know. I mean, I'm stressed every week, and it's like I can't imagine doing that for 10 more years, you know. But
Are you really stressed?
oh yeah, I hate battles. I hate them so much.
Really?
Oh yeah, I hate
'Cause
them.
You seem like such a, I mean, you are just a chill.
Yeah, but
chill
in the
dude,
moment,
but-
I like from hole one, I'm like, I can't wait until it's over.
What is like? Are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself in your head while this is happening?
I'm telling myself, especially like at Worlds like last year, I'm like, you just have to, you can't slip up. You can't have a dumb mental slip. You can have execution problems, but you can't have a mental slip. So my game was like really off at Worlds last year.
Yeah.
I went through multiple different forms, multiple different putting swings, because nothing felt good. But I wanted to win so bad. I know I had to just focus. And I was like, well, if my game's not going to feel good physically, at least I can plan my shots around not bogeying. And I only took 5 bogeys the entire 5 rounds at Worlds. And a couple of them, two were on the first hole at the Monster course, 2 were at hole 11 at the Beast course, that's the one with the pond, and then 1 was the final round of hole 17, and it was a roll away. And so I almost pretty much did everything I needed to mentally to make sure I wasn't having big mistakes. And so that's the toughest part, is the brain power. At the end of the day, physically I could play more rounds and be fine, but my brain is just done. It's cooked. I need a rest. And like those weeks where it's either a big tournament or it's important or it's a battle every round, I don't even remember playing because I'm just like dreading it so much.
Wow.
It's weird. Like I have fun, but like it's such a weird feeling. Like you get the win, you don't really feel that much. But if you lose, you like get really mad. Like the winning desire hasn't changed, but like if I get the win, it's almost like, okay, I expected it. It's more of just like I'm trying to maintain just winning. I just don't want to lose, basically. But I mean, the wins still feel good, but it's not like, I mean, when I won my first tournament, I was like freaking out. Like I almost cried, which I never do. So it's like, I don't know, it's just weird.
It reminds me of the saying that they say, when you hate losing more than you like winning.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. I'd say, honestly, like, I don't know if it's a bad thing, but like I just get jealous of other people win. Like
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to steal my thunder, basically.
Yeah.
And like it's all in my hands most of the time, obviously. But
Sure.
it's crazy stuff has happened before, and that's just sports. But like, it's pretty much always in my hands whether I'm going to be the champion or not. So I feel like I do like that aspect. I like that it's a single player sport. Like nothing else is going to stop me from getting a win or losing a lot. So. Just gotta do your best to try to control that with the power you do have.
One last question. What's the biggest misconception? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. What's the biggest misconception that people have about you?
I don't even know. I mean, I have a lot of haters. I know that. I think I don't know. I think misconception.
Or what do you think people don't understand about you that you'd like them to understand?
I don't know if it's like the way I like come off on the course, but like I like, especially like if I have like a friend on the card, like I'm really literally just going out there and having fun. Like the last round last weekend, I like pretty much didn't even like, I didn't even know I shot that good because I was with my friend Sully and we were just like we were goofing around the entire round. Like it's weird. Like I'm like super serious about like how I want to play. But I could just be joking around the entire round. Like I can stay locked in while just memeing the entire round and not having a problem, I feel like if you just watch me, obviously like I do take my time. And obviously as the player, if I see a comment online that's like completely wrong, like it's in my blood, just like either like kind of try to correct them or like lash back and kind of actually tell them about the truth of what actually happened. But then if I like put myself in their shoes, it's like, well, they have no clue. They have no clue really what actually happened. You're never able to like tell what happened on DGN or anything. And like last weekend, I used one of the new time extensions that we're allowed to use. And I saw multiple podcasts saying, oh, Gannon still was just taking forever and taking a minute on this shot. But like, I went back and watched the DGN, and it sounds like I whispered it, like, hey, I'm using my time extension. And then obviously, yeah, I took my time, like, because you're allowed to do that. So yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I see comments like, oh, Gannon smile for once, or like I see that too, but like, I'm like joking around with my friends. I just feel like I'm not like a, I don't know, super smiley guy sometimes. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Question? New question?
How do you prepare for putting in the wind and different angles?
You're
clearly a great putter at distance.
But
how do you properly gauge that?
Yeah. So it's an interesting one because I only practice putt inside. I pretty much never practice putt outdoors. So you'd be like, well, how do you know how to practice, putt and wind? I think that's where it's like having the disc golf IQ, the knowledge of actually understanding how wind affects a putt. So obviously a lot of it depends on the slope of the ground, or like if it's a fast green or something like that. I'll try to like throw putts. Like a good piece of advice I got actually was from Paige Pierce. She said like no half runs. There's no like, you don't just like say, oh, I'm gonna give it a chance and hope it goes in. Like you can give a committed half run, which I would say I'm committing to a nose up angle or an anhyzer. I'm committing to my line, still gonna have a really good shot to go in. That's a lot different than just kind of like throwing it up there and hoping it goes in. There's a big difference there. So no half runs, either run it or you don't. So, I feel like, yeah, I mean, obviously I've been playing tournaments so long with tons of wind, and I can kind of like get a feel for exactly what's gonna happen. Something that's really important for me is like not exposing the flight plate while it's in my hand. I feel like the biggest thing is, so whenever it's really windy, I try to keep a really level like pull back, pull through. That way it's not getting kind of beat down, because usually like a lot of players will expose like the top of the disc when they reach down, and that's kind of like adds a lot of variables. But for me, it's like anything inside circle one, if it's windy, I really just putt it hard. I'm like, just get it through the wind. The putt doesn't have enough time to actually move off the line. If it gets to the basket in less than a second, you're good. Circle two, if I'm putting in the wind from circle two, I almost always like lob stuff, or I putt way softer with less rotations. Tailwind, I really just try to, as long as you get like the up and down right, it almost always goes in. So I just put it up there pretty high, and I pick a line, I pick up the pole, I go straight up from the pole about 4 or 5 feet, and that's about the peak where the putt's gonna hit. That's the top of the highest it'll ever get. And if I hit that spot every time, as long as my left to right's good, it's going in every time. Headwind is probably my worst wind, but whenever I'm putting in headwind, I try to be extremely smooth. So my pull back, pull through is a lot slower. I don't change the angle. Where in tailwind, you don't really need to change anything, but headwind, it's definitely important to like not expose it to the elements. And you want to keep it as level as possible, especially in like left to right winds and stuff like that. If you have any crosswinds, you got to keep the putt flat and keep it spinning, because the second it starts to fade, it's going to get just destroyed, and you have no clue if it's going to lift or just kind of boost it way too far off the line left and right. So putting wind, I'm definitely like focusing on aim points and being very intentional with where I'm aiming, and kind of have it be less field-based and more calculated.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to be respectful of your time so you can get back. But
thanks, Bobby.
Do you have a question for me?
When will Willett Heiser be back?
We already
and
did.
Can I be on an episode?
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I have 2 things sitting on my desk that
Mike
when we talked about at Disc East doing one, that I was like, okay, these are the ones that Gannon's got to do. So
perfect.
Do you think you can ever make it to Emporia? Are you going to?
I don't know.
If not, I'll figure out what.
Are you going to any more tournaments?
I'll be at more tournaments.
Well, we can just go buy stuff that Mike Heiser.
I'll bring that, and then we'll buy some stuff.
Okay.
Maybe that'll be part of the video where we'll go shopping for some stuff to go Heiser.
I'm down, dude.
All right,
I'd even
cool.
like that a video on my channel possibly too. We could film 2 of them, bro.
I love it.
I want a Will Heiser featuring Bobby on my channel. That'd be legendary.
Let's do it.
All right. Signing out. Gannon Buhr, peace.
Appreciate you having a conversation. Thanks, dude.